up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Why We Design. Today we're going to be discussing battery. We're going to discuss what battery is, how I implement it in my designs, how we can test it. We're going to have a free PDF document linked below, so in the description on YouTube you can follow along with me. So just download the link. It'll have some pages, so everything will make a little more sense, and that's what I'm going to be referencing back to. So grab that. You can keep it. Follow along. It'll have some information on there that can help you later down the road too, and it's kind of a good just like notes page. So let's get started. All right, everybody. So what is battery? In a general term or general definition, battery is the ability for an athlete to recover or replenish their CP stores or their CP system between reps or before completing another repetition. So for example, let's say an athlete does 10 snatches at 90% effort, so their max is 200 pounds, so they're doing 10 reps at 180 pounds. So if it takes them 1 minute to do that, they would have a really high battery. Okay, if it took them 3 minutes to do that, they would have a lesser battery. So if they could do 10 and rest 15 seconds between each one, that 15 seconds isn't a full recovery, but it's enough recovery for them to complete the rep again. Okay, so that's battery. So their battery is, how long it takes for them to be able to go and hit that higher end rep again. Okay, so that's kind of like a testing format or what we could look at to see how well someone's battery is. But in training, kind of like when you're talking about battery work or how we utilize battery in training as well, you have some sets of reps or a number of reps without full recovery in between them. So let's say this person's doing a 5x5 reps at 85%. Let's say they're doing a power clean. They're going to do 5 reps and they're only resting 10 seconds between reps. So they're going to do one power clean, rest 10 seconds. One power clean, rest 10 seconds until they complete 5. They'll rest 2 to 3 minutes or whatever the time is and then do another set. Okay? So if they're doing 5x5 at 85%, if I was really doing one rep at 85% effort, that's kind of tough. I would maybe need a few minutes or a minute to rest to 100%. But we're trying to, we're not trying to let them rest to 100%. We're trying to let them rest the minimal amount before they can hit the next rep. So if they can rest 10 seconds but hit it again, and then rest 10 seconds then hit it again, that's good. If it's 8 seconds or if it's 12 seconds, that's the number we're looking for to try and improve that number or improve their battery. Okay. So we're really looking between moderate and high percentage effort. So if you do, let's say again, a power clean. If you're doing a power clean and it's at 50% effort, if I do one power clean at 50%, I'm pretty much can repeat that and it's not going to have a huge effect on my CP system. Okay? But if we go up to 90%, if I do one power clean, that's going to take a lot of storage in order for me to perform that rep. So now I need to recover a little more to create that energy to do it again. If that makes sense. Okay, so that's why we're kind of looking at north of 70%. Of course, there's always some cases where you can maybe do some battery work with it being a little less or depending on the movement. So this is just a general term. Okay, what we can control or what we need to control is time, percentage, load, and volume. So this is going to be fatigue based. This isn't. But it still has control, so don't think this is just all about fatigue and getting tired and trying to do reps. There's still control involved. So it's fatigued, as in you're not resting to 100%. You are fatigued while you're doing the next lift or even the first lift or the number of sets, but we're still going to try and control the time. So that's time meaning reps, seconds between reps and seconds between sets. And then we have the percentage. We're also going to control that. We're going to control the load and the volume again. So the load being how much weight and the volume being how many reps they're doing, okay, or how much time they're doing. And then testing this or putting it into training to kind of find out where someone's battery is. We're almost always going to start with a max set or a max rep, and then we're going to do a percentage-based test off of that, okay, off of the same max set that was in that day. Okay, so how do we test battery or how do we assess someone's battery? All right, we're always going to start with a max effort rep first, so a maximal effort, and then we're going to lead into some type of workout with a specific amount of rest between of a timed workout with a specific percentage or a specific percentage for time, Okay, so let's go over that real quick. Some examples might be a 1 rep max power clean, and then they're going to do 8 minutes at 90% of that. Okay, so again, we'll just go back to the power clean. It's easy. They hit 200-pound power clean. All right, they rest exactly 5 minutes, and then they start an 8-minute AMRAP at 180 pounds for max reps. Okay, we can do it with the snatch too. 1 rep max snatch plus 5 minutes at 85%. Okay, again, this is just another example with a different movement, but the same kind of concept. They're going to do a 1 rep max. They're going to do a maximal effort, rest a specific amount of time, and then they're going to do a specific amount of time or a specific amount of reps. This could be 20 reps per time at 80% instead of 5 minutes for max reps. Okay, so same concept. Max first, and then time and percentage are kind of going to be in control by the test. Okay. So why are we doing a max first? One, it is a good CNS prep. It can prep this person for doing a really hard workout like they're going to be doing. Think of doing 8-minute AMRAP at 90% effort of your 1 rep max power clean, as many reps as you can. You kind of want to be prepared for that. So we're going to prep our system. That's not the main reason we're doing the max, but it's just a good reason of why we do it. It's a kind of added benefit. The main reason we're going to do it is because of the relativity to the max to the max reps. Okay, so if I do 8-minute max reps at 90%, we really care about what you did today, not what you did 1 year ago. All right, not what you even did 2 weeks ago. If you did a 300-pound power clean 2 weeks ago, but today you only did 285, we need to go off the 285 because we need to know what your battery is in relation to what you can do this day, not what you could do before. Because you might feel a lot better, you might have had better sleep, XYZ, a lot of things could go on, you might hit 300, but this score might still be the same overall because that day you had the ability to hit the 300. Okay, so keep that in mind. Never let an athlete go off a previous score. It's just going to mess up your data and it's not going to be correct. Okay, even if it's even way more, don't go off of like, oh well, yesterday I could only hit 255, so I doubt I could really do this, or don't allow them to say like, I think today I could hit 275, so we're just going to skip it and go off 275. Don't let that happen. Okay, it needs to be in relation to what they can do today and what they did do. Okay, not what they could do or what they've done previously. All right, so why we kind of choose the time, the reps, or the percentage is important for standardization across test to test. But in the test, let's just say they do this 8 minutes at 90%. We want to note misses and kind of what the reps look like. So if they start missing at the 6-minute mark, or by the time they hit 15 reps, or it starts looking really bad, you need to note that. You can take that, and it doesn't have to be just about battery. You can take this test and learn a few other things about the client. And then total reps obviously is the main score, and that's what we're looking at. And then you can also look at maybe in like the first 6 minutes out of the 8, they hit 80% of the reps, and in the last 2 minutes they could only hit 20%. So take that into mind. And then a big piece that I always look at is the average reps per seconds. Okay, so let's just say they did this 8-minute AMRAP and they hit 1 rep every 18 seconds on average. Okay, how do you do that? They get X amount of reps and you just divide it by the total amount of seconds that's in 8 minutes. 8 times 60 divided by this number, and then you'll find that average number. So then you can utilize that in training as well. Okay, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but just remember, you want to note misses, you want to know how they looked in the first rep versus the last few. We want to know that total rep number, and then we want to also know how many reps per seconds, or how many seconds per rep are they completing. All right, so when designing battery or designing based off that testing we just went through, so you have the assessment, you went through a test, you're now wanting to improve upon that test or improve in general upon that athlete's battery. How are we going to start? All right, so a good way to start is with interval based in general, because it's really easy to manipulate, it's really easy to track, and it's really easy to control all the reps. So you can go interval by rep, meaning we're going to do 1 rep every 20 seconds by 12 reps. That's for one example. It might be 1 rep every 10 seconds by 5 reps, and then you rest again, and then you do that 3 times, okay? But the interval is based off the rep. So then there's also an example where you might do interval based off time. So you might do 40 seconds of max reps by 3 sets. And then you're going to rest a minute 20 and do 40 seconds again. This one is probably going to take someone with a little more skill or a little bit more awareness around kind of where they're working or where they know they are, because you might give this to a beginner athlete and they might go, guns a-blazing and try and do as many reps as they can, as fast as they can in 40 seconds, and then the next two might not even be close. It's okay to see kind of a gradual drop off. Like, let's say they get 13 reps in 40 seconds off of whatever percentage you're giving them, and then they get 12, and then they get 10. That's okay. But if they're doing like 16 reps, 8 reps, and then like 4 reps, that's not what we're looking for. Okay, so you still want it to be consistent over this 40-second period or 30-second period or whatever you're doing. Okay, and then we have timed reps. So this one again maybe a little more advanced. Say they have 10 reps for time, they're going to rest 60 seconds by 3. So we're going today off 82% of your power clean. You're going to do 10 singles, with good control and making sure they look good. But it's still for time. You're still doing it at a fast rate, and then you're going to rest 60 seconds, and then you're going to repeat it 2 more times for 3 total sets. So that's 30 reps. Okay. Say they did 24 reps in their 8-minute AMRAP or whatever you did to test their battery. If they did 24, maybe doing 4 sets of 6 reps for time with a short amount of rest might be a good move for them. Or maybe doing 3 sets of 8 reps might be a good starting point for them. Or starting a little less and then slowly progressing to a more total rep volume, which is what we're gonna talk about right here is progression. So you can progress through time, load, and volume. So let's talk about time first. So time between reps. Again, let's go back to this example right here. They're doing 1 power clean every 20 seconds by 12. Okay? So how can I kind of alter that by time or progress that? So let's say week 2, they do the same thing, but now between reps, we're going to rest 16 seconds. Okay? So we just dropped 4 seconds off the 20, so now 1 rep every 16 seconds by 12. Okay? So we're adding a little bit of difficulty, adding a little more demand to the athlete. You can also alter just the rest in general. So say we're doing max reps in 40 seconds by 3 sets, it's resting a minute 20. We might rest a minute 10, a minute 5, 1 minute. You're just decreasing some rest again to add difficulty to what they had previously done. Okay, the week before. We can talk about load. So one way I think about it is weight per reps. I forgot the T right there. So let's just say they're doing 10. Let's say 10 reps, rest 60 seconds by 3 right here. The first 10 reps might be at 80%. The second 10 reps might be at 82%, and then the last one might be at 85%. Or might be vice versa. It might start at 86, go 84, and then go 82. But then we're going to kind of, average out that volume to decide what the total volume is, okay? So our total load, so the percent or the weight per rep. And then we also have movement. So the movement might be a clean plus a front squat. And then, one power clean plus a front squat. Or it might be one power clean plus 1 hang power clean every 12, or every 20 seconds by 12 reps. It doesn't have to be the exact same movement if we're still working on battery, if that makes sense, okay? Volume, we have the total weight. So again, kind of like what I was talking about before, the total weight done in that period is one way we can increase the volume by just increasing the weight, so they're doing more work, or just the total reps in general. So, for time, 10 reps, rest 60 seconds by 3. Next week it might be just 12, something that simple, okay? So that's kind of how we're making alterations in their training program week to week. It might look the exact same, and you're just asking them to improve on what they did last week. It might be 20 reps for time at this load. Aim to rest 10 seconds between, and then you say, okay, we're going to do it again. Just try and do it now with better reps, or just do it, maybe every 8 seconds. You're just trying to improve just a tad, okay? But the athlete and what their capability is going to dictate how you move this, okay? If I have a beginner athlete and, we're doing 1 every 20 seconds by 12 reps, it's pretty low volume. And then the next week I'm saying, all right, we're going to bump it up to 20 because you did so good. That's not a great idea, okay? But, same thing with an elite athlete or someone who's farther down the spectrum and has a really good battery. I'm still not just going to make some drastic changes, but An elite athlete might be able to adapt using a few variables each week versus one. A beginner athlete, I would probably try and stick with just one variable changing per week, whether that's time, total reps, or weight. Whereas an elite athlete, you might be able to increase the weight a little bit and increase the reps, or decrease the rest and then increase the number of sets or the total number of reps. Okay, so you just got to make sure the athlete has the ability to express it, and then the athlete has the ability to week to week make progressions. Okay, if they're not making a progression or if they're not getting better, there's no point in doing this. Okay, make sure that you always look at the athlete, who they are, and then are asking yourself, like, why am I giving them this? You don't need to go further and say, like, I really want this athlete to perform better, and I know if they just can do more reps, that's how we're going to do it. And then all of a sudden you added 5 reps to the next week, and it was a waste of time because they did 10 reps well, and then the last 5 were they were looking poorly, they were resting too much, or they couldn't finish. Okay, so you just got to make sure that they're still recovering between reps, and then they're still able to perform the entire set. Okay? All right, so why is battery important? Why should I be including it in my training? Why should I be writing it in my designs? And why should I be testing it and assessing it in clients or myself? Well, it's really important in our sport. Why? Because you can recover better at submax loads. Let's just say that an open workout comes out and it's got cleans in it, kind of like the clean double under and toes to bar workout. Let's just say towards the end of that workout, those reps are really heavy for you. You're going to want to be able to do that rep, recover quicker, and be able to do it again. Okay? That's what battery can do for you. Battery can improve on that. And let's just say that it might even be a little lighter, but there might be a lot of reps. Towards the end, I start dying. Why can't I recover? Why can't I hit that next rep? Well, it's really hard for you because you have a poor battery, or you just have poor strength in general, but battery is still going to have a lot to do with it. All right, so it's going to help us with our recovery between submax loads, or even doing a group of work and then doing it again. Okay, so battery is important for that reason, recovery. The athlete's ability with heavier loads in general. So if you're training with heavier loads under fatigue, you're going to get better at lifting those heavy loads under fatigue. Okay, you have experience in it, and then it's going to go a long way when you have a heavy ladder, or you have increasing weight with a bunch of other movements, or you just have a heavy barbell or a heavy load in general mixed with a lot of other stuff. An improved battery is going to help you have better control and a higher likelihood of being able to hit that weight. Okay, strength. So we can improve our absolute strength and our strength speed doing battery work, which is good because if you can increase battery and increase total strength, then we're in a really good spot. Okay, if your total strength stays the same, this is also really good while your battery increases, so that's kind of a win for both. But just keep in mind that you can increase strength while doing battery work. It's not a give and take. You just have to design it correctly and make sure, again, that the athlete and their ability is dictating the sessions and the progressions. Okay? And then overall success in the sport, pretty plain and simple. If you want to be good at the sport, you have to have a really good battery. Okay? So you can look at some of the best athletes in the world, and they're going to have a really good battery. Watch them do high percentage lifts, or watch them. They'll do a workout, and they might not seem like they're the strongest person out there, or they might not be the strongest person out there, but they're still keeping up with someone way stronger than them with a heavy barbell. Okay, so that barbell percent. Let's just say we have 2 athletes. One snatches 300, and one snatches is 270. Okay, so 300 and 270. If that person that snatches 300 pounds is looking at a barbell that's 185, and the other person is, that barbell is a lighter percentage compared to their 1 rep max. But the person with a 270 snatch might be able to outperform them in that workout where it has 40 snatches at 185. Why? Because they have a better battery. There's other factors in there too, and some muscle endurance and maybe efficiency, but still they likely have a better battery, and that's why they're going to perform better. Okay, so being stronger doesn't always mean that you're going to do better in a heavier workout. Okay, you have to improve your battery and be stronger. All right, they coincide. All right, so just to recap again, it's going to help you recover, it's going to help you be stronger, and then it's going to help your overall success in the sport. Okay, so if you have any questions about the video or about battery, my email is linked below, and it's also in the PDF if you downloaded it. If you want to comment a question, or if you want to send something personally, send it to me. If you need any help with better understanding battery, I'd be glad to help. So I really appreciate you watching, and stay tuned for the next episode of Why We Design.